topic. All right, let's do some voicemails, Ian. You can go to anchor.fm/TheCU podcast, and you can leave us an audio message through your PC mic or your phone. If there's a way you guys can test out your mic to make sure it's not crackle pops and my ears don't go, I'd appreciate that. Obviously, not everything's under your control when it comes to that. So I wish I had the page open as a professional podcaster. I was doing this for 7.5 years at this point almost. This first one is from, it's two Andrews. This is the first Andrew. Here we go, Ian.
Hey dudes, it's your boy Little Robotussin back for a third week. Oh yeah.
Little Robotussin. I don't know who you are. If you think we're boys, that's cool. I don't know who you are though.
My question for you guys is if you've heard of the new 2D fighting game they're developing called Serial Killers. Basically, it's a fighting game with serial mascots like Tony the Tiger, the Sun from Raisin Bran, Lucky Charms dude, etc., etc. They held open auditions for the voices. I personally actually applied for a bunch of them. But if you go on John Riggs's YouTube, he made a video on everything detailing it, and there's a list of the guidelines in the comments. So I was wondering if you guys wanted to maybe try a voice or two live on the air. I'm assuming it's a Pat-only thing, but Ian, if you did it, I would laugh my balls off. All right, bro. Later.
All right, bro.
I am not doing any forces.
What do you want to be, Tony the Tiger right now? Like, what do you want me to do? Well, the campaign was either shut down. It says it's closed. It was Indiegogo. It says 0. What were they using? Real mascots? And that would get shut down. Lickety split.
It looks like they're using fairly realistic. Well, no, they're not. They're using parodies. Yeah.
My name is Mikhail Sebastian.
All right, I'm looking at the Kickstarter right now.
Commandant Crush, Terror Teeth.
Oh, they're parodies of them.
Yeah.
Okay. So why did the Indiegogo close? It said 0 backers. Here, we look at the update here on this. This happened in November. Request for a refund. They required private funding. Oh, okay.
Well, there it is.
Well, there you go. Success story. Okay. Your serial killer games coming live, but I'll just do they're great. Okay. There you go. There you go, bruh.
Hello, guys. I hope you will be able to figure out my accent. I'm Andrew. I'm from Ukraine. I'm your longtime fan. And I have a question to Patrick. Sorry if it's personal. I'm just wondering, what do you do for life? I mean, Ian, he has his own gaming shop. And what about you? My guess that you're doing some stuff like coding or programming because you're able to calculate big numbers online.
Wow, you've really fooled someone.
See you podcast. Anyway, thank you. Have fun.
Well, Andrew from the Ukraine, I would have guessed.
Hello, guys.
I would have guessed Eastern European, but they blend to me, that region. But what do I do for life? I do a podcast. I got projects going on. I produce stuff. I'm an online. I call myself if I'm on a date with someone pre-COVID, Ian, I'd say I'm an online content producer, but I also produce offline content. That's what I do. I quit my day job July 2012. It's been 8 years since I thankfully quit. When Ian said I was gray, I had no color in my face.
You had no color?
I had no color. That's what the job did to me. I had no color in my face. Plus, I needed some sunshine there. Was there anything else there? No, that was it. But no, I dropped out of computer science in college, by the way. My father tried to push me that. I'm like, no.
Hey, and Pat, my name's Jason. Huge fan of your show. I just want to give you a quick comment on your Dragon's Lair replicated review from New Way Toys a few days ago. And it took me over a year to get my cabinet. It's definitely worth the money. I got mine at $90 before shipping, but regardless, it's $120. We had over like 2,000.
I gotta stop. That's in my ears. Okay, so he got his replicate, and he's waited for over a year, and it was good. And you got yours, so you guys agree. Some of these are kind of old.
I was happy with that. Yes.
Thanks for that, Jason. Oh, Jason has a second one. Okay, I'll try to get this in.
Hey, and Pat, this is Jason from Texas. Just wanted to ask Pat a question. Hey, Pat, I know you're a fan of Rolling Thunder, so am I. If Numsicle Designs or New Wave Toys comes out with a mini replica version of the...
I don't want it. If there's a mini version, I probably don't want it. It would be too much of a tease. And plus, now I have the real arcade unit. I just needed a little work on it. A program ROM has to be reburnt because there were some image issues, and the controls had to all be ripped out and redone on it. The controls are awful. I can't crouch. You should be able in Lord of Thunder, Ian, to crouch instantly from right crouch to left crouch. You can't do it. When I played, I was like, "What's this up?" I could like stand up and recrouch, and I couldn't play. So it has to be redone. The monitor's in great shape. Thanks to Skylar for picking it up for me. I got a good deal on it, but it has to be redone. It's in good shape, and that's my all-time favorite arcade cabinet. I got it. I want one or two more. That's it. I want a Popeye cabinet. That's my favorite early '80s arcade cabinet, and maybe one or two others, and that's it. Here you go.
Hey Pat. Hey Ian. Big fan. Since I value the opinion of both of you, just wondering your favorite dramas and comedies on streaming or on broadcast or cable right now and of all time. I'm not sure if you guys like that question or not, but anyway.
Hey, have some confidence, Keith. Wasn't a bad question. At first, I thought you were talking about movies, but we did that a couple months ago. If you're talking about TV stuff for dramas, Homicide: Life on the Streets is one of the most. It's criminally underrated. Pardon the pun. That was a fantastic show.
It's got Munch in it, doesn't it?
Yes, there was crossover Munch.
Munch, yeah.
And then Andre Braugher. That was like one of his big standouts. One of his big things where people are like, holy shit, who's this guy? Fantastic show. Mad Men, one of the best shows ever.
I never finished Mad Men, but I always say that there's very few dramas that I watch, very few things I watch in general with real live people in them. I mostly watch cartoons. I don't want to deal with people. But Mad Men, everything I've seen of it is fantastic, and I do plan on going back and finishing that someday. I also really liked the last season, not so much, but I really liked Oz. I thought Oz was fantastic.
Never saw it.
I really enjoyed Oz. Never watched The Sopranos. Never did Breaking Bad or anything like that.
I got into Breaking Bad. I think I watched the first 3 seasons and fell out of it. I like Breaking Bad. I do. For comedy, I know it's anime, but I love Archer. I'm in love with Archer. I sort of didn't get there until, I say, like 3-4 years ago. I was like, wow, this is better than I thought it originally was. I went back and watched most of them. I'm like, wow, yeah, this is really, really funny. And they're still good, like 10 years later.
For me, with comedy, I don't like a lot of sitcoms. I don't like
I hate sitcoms.
I don't like a lot of TV comedy at all. That's where, like, when I watch TV, I usually want it to be something lighthearted or funny. That's where cartoons come in. My favorite cartoon, like in terms of like a comedy cartoon, would be Home Movies. I love Home Movies. As far as something with actual actors in it, I do like a lot of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
That's great.
I'm 100% nowhere near caught up on it. In fact, after season 5 or 6,
well, you don't have to be.
I've seen fairly little of it, but I know that if I decided to catch up, I would enjoy it.
It's like Three Stooges almost. Like, yes, there's characters that come in, but there's not really like long arcs. They're mostly self-contained episodes.
There are things that progress from the beginning to the end, but it's not. Yeah, you don't need to watch every episode.
There's the Fat Mac arc, for example.
Right, exactly.
Season, where he famously put on like 70 pounds just for the show.
Yep.
Then he lost it and got fucking ripped.
Yep.
It was like, holy shit. How did you do that? Anyway. So I was trying to think of any others the past 10 years of comedy. I know I've watched some comedies and got into them, but not really. I haven't watched it. I like old sitcoms from like the 80s and maybe 90s. I love Perfect Strangers, but new ones, I can't even think of a new sitcom that I've enjoyed or watched.
They don't exist. I mean,
I don't want laugh tracks anymore.
Again, it's animated, but the closest thing to a sitcom that I've really enjoyed is King of the Hill, and that's ancient at this point.
I don't know if the year 10 years ago, I think about, right?
If not longer.
Barbara? All right, what's next here?
Hey Pat, hey Ian, it's Rick Pasley from Indiana. Just wanted to say how awesome you guys are.
What the fuck?
And love the podcast. And just keep it up. Peace.
I'm so, thanks, Rick. I was just trying. Were you like in a prison cafeteria? What was going on there?
Thank you for the kind words, Rick. But I was trying to figure out what was
that the prison guard pushing you guys through?
I was literally listening, waiting for a clank.
Yeah, like what? They got internet access where you're at on your phone. Listen to the beginning of this.
Hey, Pat.
What the? Oh, okay, Rick. Well, best of luck in the pen while you do your bid.
Hey, Pat and Ian, just got a quick question. I know you guys talked about Sega Saturn on the show before. Wondering if you had any Sega Saturn memories or maybe favorite games on the Saturn?
Any memories? I don't know anyone who had the Saturn. I bought it from Funkoland. Probably my first console Funkoland purchase was the Sega Saturn in '98, just for Six Man Scramble. Was that '97 or '98? It was '98 that came out.
I think it was '98.
Because when I discovered, because obviously wrestling games notoriously were horrible, at that point, the PlayStation ones, N64 ones were mostly bad except for the couple of good ones. But I didn't have an N64. But when I heard of a 2D game with like hundreds of wrestlers and every single move that you could imagine, for the most part, I went out and bought it just for that. My Saturn. So that's my old school Saturn memory. I really didn't know anyone that had one besides my cousins with every console. Like, I don't remember seeing them play anything. I might have seen them play Panzer Dragoon. That's about it. I don't remember much else.
I was trying to find a release date for Six Man Scramble.
Oh, look.
So for me, I don't have a ton of memories of the Saturn from when I was younger. My brother, I think, briefly owned one after I moved out, and I remember going over there and playing Panzer Dragoon, the first two. But the Saturn was a system that I did not know a ton about until I met Vani. That's her favorite system. And my Saturn memories largely consist of her and I, like twice a year, will hook it up and we'll sit down and we'll try to play through Congo on the Saturn, which is a Saturn exclusive first-person shooter, and it's miserable. We're finally at the point where we can generally make it up to the last level, but we can't beat it.
Six Man Scramble came out December 29th, 96. So I must have discovered it early 97.
Okay.
But I remember I went to Electronic Boutique.
Yeah, 98 would be G, I think.
Or 99, around that. But I remember I went out in Electronic Boutique. I remember it being cold. And like I said, Electronic Boutique had an import section at the mall. Like, such a weird thing.
Yeah, they did for a while.
And at that point, I probably could have still, honestly, in 97, like, there could have been a Magical Chase sitting right there and, like, some turbo stuff still.
Sure.
Because that was only like a year or two. I mean, they're still around in 97 in Japan. Anyway, but that was my only memory of that. All right, next.
Let's do one more, and then it's time for lunch.
It's time for lunch. A few more. This is the shortest podcast in a while. It hasn't been even 90 minutes, Ian.
It's fine.
You're getting ornery. It's early. We start earlier today.
We didn't. We started at like 10:45.
We usually start at 11 to 11:30.
We've been starting at like 10:30.
Well, Mr. Time.
I'm just saying.
Time cop over here. Do your split up in your briefs, Ian, on the.
I felt the muscles in the pants ripping.
Hi, Pat and Ian. Thank you for a great show. I have a question regarding the way we play video games. So for a long time, there's been no change in how we approach video games. You have a controller for input, and you have some sort of screen for playing the game, of the visual aspect of playing the game. But we're constantly being told that this will change someday. Do you think we'll ever get to another stage of gaming? And if it happens, when will it be? Thank you very much. And Pat, if I could just one more time hear you saying Retrospilmessen for the Scandinavian.
All right, I was gonna say.
Thank you.
I was gonna say you're Scandinavian. I was like Norwegian or something. Yeah, Retrospilmessen. There you go.
Retrospilmessen.
I was gonna say. I was like, that was an interesting accent. Will we get to? I mean, VR's trying to. I've always said, hey, this is the next evolution, and everyone's not. Most people are like, no, I don't want this. I don't need it.
I don't.
Evolution.
I don't think we'll ever evolve past this way of playing games. Just like the basic act of reading is always going to be the basic act of reading.
Books didn't die. People thought books would die. They didn't.
Playing a video game in the current way is it's passive entertainment. I mean, in terms of you're sitting on a couch, and yeah, you can get fired up. You might jump around. You might throw your controller around. Who knows? But you can do it while sitting down. Any other method of really like interacting with a game is going to involve more immersion from us, and I think the next likely evolution is VR. But as Pat said, and as I've experienced in my own life of using it, I enjoy VR, but it is not a replacement for playing a video game the normal way. I don't always want to have to be up. I don't always have to want to move around. I don't always want to be cut off from
be
actual
sitting
reality.
Up or standing, or can I lay down and play a game?
I don't always want to have to move my head around to see stuff. It's interesting and it's fun, and it's definitely as VR gets advances and gets more high tech, it's going to become a parallel form of entertainment, but it's not going to replace anything. I really don't think it's going to replace gaming.
It's had its chance and it hasn't yet. It just hasn't. I always think about that Next Generation episode where they get everyone addicted to that game where they put it on the headset and it does like a dopamine thing.
Yeah,
they got to put the ball in with your mind. Put the ball in the tunnel and like that funnel thing.
You're right.
Remember that episode? And it got everyone addicted. I was like, maybe we'll get to that point when because people talk about at some point we're gonna put a chip in your head that you can like access the internet, and see it basically. I'm like, maybe that'll happen in our lifetime. 30, 40 years from now, we'll see something like that. I mean, you'll be old and gray and be able to Google things. But
even if you're playing it on a screen in your mind,
it's still a screen. You think?
It's still a screen. There's always going to be a market, and probably a dominant market, I think, for video games as something that you observe and interact with using some form of controller.
All right, a couple more here. Let's see. We did the Sega Saturn one. We did that one.
Really? Recording now? Okay. Ian, Pat, Sean Connery here. Just wanted to say, Godspeed. Thanks for all the work that you've been doing over these years. I might pop down, haunt the place up. We can discuss Nintendo or 32X games. Yes, I've enjoyed it as much as I've...
Running out of steam already, Sean, are you? Had the plan? You're running out of steam about 20 seconds in?
I've enjoyed my various accents. My Russian accent. Hello, I'm Russian. My Spanish accent. Hello, I'm Spanish. My Irish accent. Hello, I'm Irish. Tommy here from Sheffield. Just thought I'd say... Sheffield, UK. Just thought I'd say... Hi Ian, hi Pat, love the show, listen to it while I'm at work. I still go in the office despite all this COVID nonsense. Hope you stay safe. What's your favourite Terror Brill movie or video games? It's so bad, but you love it. Terror Brill. Take care, Tommy.
Thanks, Tom. You redeemed yourself there. I thought it was like, okay, he's from Sheffield. I like that Sheffield. I'm trying to learn these different accents in England. There's like 17 of them. I thought it'd be a better Sean Connery being that you're so close to Scotland. You're not that far. But anyway, so what's a terrible game that you enjoy, Ian?
Tom Sawyer for the Nintendo.
It's not terrible. You didn't. It's an average game.
I mean, a lot of people would argue.
Oh, in general.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. A terrible one that I enjoy. Oh man, I got to think to. Okay. Most people don't like Superman on the NES. I like Superman on the NES. I did a review of it. I like Superman on the NES a lot.
Yeah, I know you do.
That's one. Yeah, I know you do. That'll do it, Pig. That'll do it. One more we got here.
Hey, Pat. Hey, Ian. This is Ricky from Cincinnati, Ohio. Huge fan, daily listener. I just wanted to ask you guys, if you could revive one game series from any generation, any console, doesn't matter. If you could bring back one game series and put it on next gen or current gen consoles, which one would it be? And I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
Thanks for that.
Thanks.
I got a couple in my head. Ian, you want to go first? Or?
So these aren't super dead ones, but they haven't been around for at least a generation. I would want to see a new Ridge Racer. Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
I would absolutely love to see a new Ridge Racer. A new Wipeout. Wipeout got a collection released on the PlayStation 4, but it was the newest game on there was actually a Vita game, and they were re-releases of PS3 Wipeout games. And I had one other one, Ridge Racer, Wipeout, and Oh, Armored Core. Every year I want a new Armored Core.
You talk about Armored Core being the one you want to.
I really would like to
into.
see that series come back.
I want to see a proper Space Quest game. I know you did the Space Adventure game. I think there'd be room for Space Quest to come back for an official. Would be 7th game. I think that would be something special. If you can pull off the humor. We've had a lot more Star Wars movies you can make fun of, and Star Trek things you can make fun of. I mean, God, there's a lot to mine the past. There has been a Space Quest game.
Yeah, there really is. There's
years.
Tons of material for them to
tons of
pick
sci-fi
on.
stuff that you can go off on with Space Quest. I think it would write itself, bringing it back there. I say this all the time. ActRaiser, a proper ActRaiser sequel, but in modern days, I think would be amazing. I think if you expand upon the sim part, you keep you need both. You can't get rid of one or the other. That's what makes it ActRaiser. You can maybe do it in a modern setting. You bring it back, and you build in faith and how we treat each other. And there's a way to do it. It's a spiritual game, ActRaiser, in an extent. I didn't think that's part of the experience, and there's room for that. Having a God character and seeing how people treat each other and things like that, sacrificing and honor and things like that. So I think there's room for that to come back. And then the easy one, which I see everyone say about why we haven't not had an F-Zero game in forever. Just why? You can have your party racing game. Nintendo should be able to put out a straight racing game, and people love that series.
F-Zero was great, and when Sega did the GameCube one, it was fantastic. It was very, very challenging and brutally fast, and I would love to see another entry in that series along those lines.
I think it would do fairly well. Because
I do too.
I don't think. I mean, Nintendo's like, wow, did the GameCube one do horribly? I don't see why.
No, and it was well reviewed. I mean,
that's the one thing. Like Nintendo, I think doesn't trust their own stuff. We have 3 Pikmin games. We can have another F-Zero game. Like there's room for that in your first party or second party. A library of games that you're putting out. We'll get another Star Fox. People say, we'll get another Star Fox.
We'll get another Star Fox eventually.
I guarantee you there'll be one on the Switch. We'll do that. Or if not, just try to re-release the Wii U one. I'm surprised they haven't done that yet.
Yeah, fix that one up a little bit.
Just do that and add some more missions there. Well, thanks for that. Those are some interesting ones this time.
Interesting.
Go to anchor.fm/the podcast. You can also drop us a tip there if you want. You can do a tip there, or you can have the Patreon as well, or you can join, become a member on YouTube as well. Click the join button.